Good evening. I'm the news show's chief political scientist correspondent, Ian MacIntyre. Now, if you're anything like me, you find politics, at best, boring and pointless. But I'm going to give you a quick and easy guide to the U.S. presidential primaries using the most cutting-edge technology the news show has available, a slideshow.
The American primaries are as old as democracy itself, except that they were invented in 1820. Before that, prospective candidates would have their hands and feet bound and be tossed in a nearby river. Whichever candidate floated was not only a witch, but also the party's new presidential nominee. Individual states vote one of two ways: a primary, in which ordinary citizens vote, and caucuses, where voting is carried out behind closed doors by members of the respective parties. The first caucus is held in Iowa. The first primary is held in New Hampshire, because in New Hampshire, that's the law. The primary election rules vary from state to state. Massachusetts' primary involves a 2-drink minimum. In Florida, constituents must be this withered to vote. And in California, the votes of regular citizens count for 3/5 of the votes of celebrities. During the 2004 primaries, 7 states held their votes on the first Tuesday of February, dubbing it Super Tuesday. A new twist in 2008 has led to a minor handful of additional states moving their primaries up to Tuesday, February 5th, to get a piece of the national spotlight. This date has been described by CNN as Super Duper Tuesday, and by Fox News as Super Fucking Tuesday. Once the elections have taken place, the votes are tallied, and each state agrees to send delegates to their party's national convention in the fall. Then there are superdelegates. These delegates are accountable to no one, and can kill men with their minds. Delegates are assigned to each state by proportional representation. This is determined by taking the population of a district and dividing it by the state's name's numeric value, as determined by the Pythagorean numerological method. This figure is then fed into a vast supercomputer and broken down into a simple binary algorithm. Smoke signals are then released in one of 2 colors from the primary conclave, depending on that year's lunar calendar. Once the delegates have been assigned, they move on to the lightning round, where they must correctly answer questions to retain their vote. Once the democracy hats have been donned and the ritual combat is completed, convention voting finally begins. It is now that each party's presidential nominee is basically determined by popularity. The system works.
Now, I know what you're thinking. By staggering the votes over several months, the states at the end of the process get little to no say in choosing a candidate. The amount of money raised by the top-tier candidates means that smaller candidates have no chance of competing. And the amount of media attention focused on the primaries could surely be better spent somewhere else.